Welcome to yet another webinar on the webinar series by Lead Corp Learning Commune. And today's topic is Discover and Align with Your Core Values. And I am Vineeth Vinnie. I'm a corporate human skills coach and the director of Lead Corp Learning Solutions. My fellow director of Lead Corp Learning Solutions, Kamaruddin, is also online, is attending this webinar while he's traveling. So I hope that he'll be able to speak some time in between, but he's traveling right now. He's a corporate outbound trainer and also a columnist. So we conduct webinars to empower leaders, founder leaders, and top executives of corporate organizations, L&D heads, HR heads. So this webinar series is all about corporate organizations, but a lot of these webinars also take a personal empowerment, personal transformation perspective, because without that personal transformation, it's really hard to make an impact on the organization. It's really hard to transform the organization. So today is one such day where we discuss something which starts with something of more personal significance to begin with, but it has great impact on the organization. And we have also discussed how the core values and the culture of an organization are related. But today we'll start with a personal aspect of core values. And if time permits, we'll also discuss how it matters for the individuals working at an organization and the leaders. All of them have their values aligned with the organization, or rather, the founder has some values based on which the organization is founded, and all the team members are hired based on and oriented towards those core values of the organization. So, so what do you get when you hear the word core values? Any thoughts, any ideas? There is no right answer, no wrong answer. And there is no shame, no blame, no guilt. Whatever be your response, it's your response, and we don't judge that response based on any criteria. The basic values that we possess. Ramesh, thank you so much. Anything else? Any other thoughts? You can also type in the chat window, but it'll be just really quick if you unmute and speak. So if something else comes up in your mind, you can just type it in the chat window. So we'll just start with what Ramesh just shared in the chat window, which is the basic values that we possess, right? So can you give me some example? What can be a core value?
Personal core values can be growth, trust, integrity, empathy.
Right. These can be some examples. Thank you, Swale. So we'll start from there. So we are basically following a framework that was introduced by Simon Sinek in one of his most popular TED Talks, which was the second most popular TED Talk ever at some point of time. And in that TED Talk, he introduced the concept of the golden circle, or rather golden circles. And he has later written a book called Start with Why. Start with Why. So in this book, he discusses the three concentric circles of start with why, right? So in the TED Talk and in the book, what he discusses is the idea of how some great organizations and some of the great personalities that ever walked on earth have their why at the heart of everything that they do. And basically what he means by why is the purpose. Why do they exist in this world? Whether you are an organization or whether you are an individual, why do you exist in this world? Why do you sell the product that you sell if you're an organization? Why do you do the thing that you do? So that is basically the purpose. And now, on the outermost side of the circle, outermost area of the circle is the what. What is it that you do? You may be a salesperson, you may be a facilitator, you may be the CEO of an organization. You may be selling refrigerators, you may be selling books, whatever it is. You may be teaching physics. Whatever it is that you do, that is your what. So what is it that you do? Samsung sells smartphones and other products. It's what they do, right? So basically, this is what people see all the time. And this is what most organizations and most people communicate all the time. What is it that you sell? And Simon Sinek starts with the idea, why? Why do organizations and why do people do the things that they do? So why is there? What is there? And what is evident to us most of the time? That's what we see most of the time. And in between is a circle of how. So how do we live? What are the principles that we follow when we live here? What are the things that we value? What is it that we stand for? That is our how. So this is the framework that we are following today. So rather than the more commonly used idea of core values, we'll be looking at the idea as presented by Simon Sinek in his framework of the golden circles, or the start with why framework. So how do we exist? How do we live in this world? What helps us make the decisions? When you have to make a decision between two options, when you have to make a choice between two options, how do we make it? We usually make it based on our core values. If you take this decision, this option, you may be dishonoring, you may be disrespecting some of your core values or some of the how of yours. While if you take this choice, you will be respecting your core values. So to bring more clarity to it, we'll right away start with some exercise. We'll not have a lot of things to do today, but we'll have to do something, which is a very important exercise for us to go ahead. And it's really important that you people do it, you involve with it, and you do it at this point. So I hope you guys have a paper and pen ready, or a pencil ready. If you have a paper and pencil, just type yes in the chat window. Or else you can just quickly grab a pencil or pen and a piece of paper, a sheet of paper. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. So basically what you have to do is, I'll just open a whiteboard here. So what you have to do is, I want you to draw a line in the middle of your paper, something like this, right? And so basically this is your life so far. You were born somewhere here. For example, I was born in 1989 here. And this is 2025 here, right? So basically this is the timeline of our lives. So, and now what you have to do is just keep it there and just think about this. There have been some moments in your life that you would love to relive. If you get a chance to live again, you would love to live that moment again. There are some moments which have given you good feelings. You felt really good. You felt great. You felt proud. You felt excitement at some points in life. These are the high points in your life, right? So I want you to mark one such high points in your life here over this timeline. This is a high point. So you mark it over this timeline. You can do it in your sheet of paper, and you can note the year. It may be something that happened in 2010. And you can also just note down something about that moment. Right. For example, college, the day of art fest in college, dash happened, something happened, and you did something or somebody else did something, and you think that was one of This is about the high. So Ramesh is asking a question: should it be a happy moment? Yeah, the point above the line is about something that made you feel good. It can be happiness, it can be excitement, it can be feeling proud. Uh, it can be some kind of you felt you got goosebumps because of what happened. So it was a day of the art fest at college, and you did something and you felt really proud. So it can be something between your birth and this moment. So don't overthink. Just note down the highest point that comes to your mind right now. And once you have done that, I want you to note down a low point that you will never want to relive, but a moment that had a huge impact in your life. You felt really disappointed. You felt hurt. You felt like you have lost in your life. You felt like maybe you're a failure in life. You felt cheated. You felt really bad about something. So one of the low moments in your life from the year of your birth till now. So these are the two things that you have to start with. So the top one, the one over the line, above the line, it is about a happy moment or a pleasant moment or a good moment that you would like to relive. And the lower one, this one is about something that you don't want to relive. So if you have marked two such points in the line, you can comment yes in the chat window. You will probably have more work to do after the webinar so that you will be able to figure out more of your core values. You'll probably be able to figure out one or two in this session. You'll be able to figure out another three maybe after the session. Yeah. So, okay, I have got responses from two people. Two people have already done it. Now, I also want you to add a few more points. Now, depending on how much impact these events have in your life, these points may be higher above the line or lower below the line. If you had a low point in your life, but it's not as low as this point, it may be somewhere here. You had another high point in your life, which had a great impact, which made you even more happier. That point may be even higher than this 2010 point. So I want you to add another few points, at least a couple of points more. So you'll have 3 points above the line and 3 points below the line. It's okay if you are lagging behind, because usually this exercise takes a lot of time. And it's okay if you can only note down 2 points above the line and 2 points below the line. So I'll just remain quiet for just a few seconds, like 40 seconds. If you have at least marked 3 important events in your life, type yes in the chat window. Okay, Ramesh has added 3 points. Thank you. Those who have added 2 points, type yes, please. Okay, we have got more people who have done 3. Right. So now I need your help. I want someone to volunteer to share an important event that you have marked on the timeline. Yeah, Munir, thank you. So either you can unmute or you can speak up or you can type in the chat window. Yeah, Himanshi, could you share?
Yeah, I've marked when I finished my post-graduation in England on scholarship.
When you finished your post-graduation in England on scholarship. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What did you feel when you finished it? It's definitely a high point, but what feelings did you have?
I felt a sense of accomplishment also because I had secured a job along with that for the short duration that I wanted. So I felt like a sense of accomplishment that it was on my list and I have done it.
Right. So Himanshi, have you also added some more points there?
Yeah, but they are a little more personal.
Right, sure. You don't have to share it.
Okay.
Right. So you felt a sense of accomplishment, right? Could you spend a few more minutes with me there?
Sure.
Right. Can you think of one or two other situations when you felt that sense of accomplishment? There may be many,
Yes,
but
every time I have done training programs. Yeah, every time I've done training programs for a big name brand, I felt a sense of accomplishment, which is important for me. Or
right.
maybe if I've ever like if I set out a target of an X amount of income or revenue for a particular month and I crossed that, then I felt a sense of accomplishment.
Right. Okay. So I hope others are also listening. So this is basically how you try to figure out how this is connected to some of your core values. So I'm just trying it out with Himanshi. It usually helps when you have 5 on top of the timeline and 5 below the line, because then you can look for patterns. But right now we have just 1, and I'm just trying to figure out. Right. And Himanshi is helping me. Right. So what aspect of this you are completing your graduation from London makes you proud, gives you the sense of accomplishment?
It's just that I thought that, I did it all on my own. There was no support from anybody, as in the research. This was long back. The research and looking for the university and everything I did on my own. I mean, my parents were there, but basically I did everything on my own. So that feeling that at such a young age, I was able to do all of those things on my own,
Right.
that was the sense of accomplishment. So that feeling of that I am somebody, I can do things,
Right.
I have value,
Right.
and
Yeah.
basically I can do things in the world.
Right. Yeah. So do you think if you look at your life, there will be more moments which you would feel proud of because you were self-reliant? You did things on your own.
Yeah, basically I've done most things on my own. So yeah, self-reliance, independence, are core values for me. Freedom, basically. Freedom is ability to exercise my choices, has been a core value.
Right. Right. Thank you. Right. So this is how. Thank you, Himanshi, for sharing that and spending time with me.
Thank you.
To figure out to connect it with the core value. So usually it helps when you have 5 values listed, 5 not values, 5 events listed on top of the line and 5 values listed below the line. That's what we do in a one-on-one engagement to figure out the core values. We look at the different events and figure out to find a pattern between these moments. So if Himanshi were to add more points on the top of the line and below the line, some of those points, whether high points or low points, there's a good chance that there will be more points related to her independence and her self-reliance, doing things on her own, exercising her own choices. She wants to do something and she goes after it and she accomplishes it. That's something that will make her proud. And now, if she ever breaks that in her life, she'll be the most disappointed, because that is a practicing core value for her. Now, if
Correct.
she had
so under the line, sorry to cut you, but under the line
sure.
is
This is important,
exactly
I
the
guess.
same thing I've written. So even though it's a core value, it is also something, another aspect of this. Like all of us have a light side and a dark side. So the darker side also is that one of my major blind spots is something that was under the line. So the same thing. So you set out to do something, but when you don't know a lot of the things, different elements of aspects of doing the same thing, just wanting to do something is not enough. Knowing the whole picture and knowing about yourself and self-awareness and knowing about the world is important. So that has been something below the line also for me.
Right. Thank you so much. So anybody else? It would be great if more people can share one event. Yes, Ramesh.
I actually went to UAE in 2016.
2016, you went to UAE, right? Yeah.
With my family.
With your family?
That's my point of view.
Yeah. Ramesh, your voice is not very clear for me. I'm not sure if it's the same for others or if it's a network issue on my side.
Not clear.
Yeah, Ramesh, it's not clear. But I'll try to ask you a follow-up question. What feeling did you have when you went to UAE with your family?
Actually, I didn't went beyond South India. But in 2016, when I got that opportunity to travel, I was like excited because I was so,
It's not really audible. It may be difficult for me to process it, but
okay.
you can type it in the chat window. You felt excited. That much I heard. Right. You felt excited, and you said you went with your family to UAE, right? Yeah. Right. So what aspect of this did you feel excited about? You can type it in the chat window. What aspect? What made you really excited? You went to UAE. You were traveling. You were with your family. What made you excited? You can type it in the chat window. In the meantime, somebody else, can you? New geography, right? Right. So Ramesh is typing really fast in the chat window. So I guess I'll try to process that first. So you could see a new geography, right? First time, and you were traveling first time on a plane, right? So because I don't have a pattern in front of me right now, because you haven't, I mean, you people haven't got time to write 5 events on the top and 5 events on the bottom. I'm just trying to extrapolate it with just this limited information, and I'm not sure how many you have written. My guess is that some of your major events in your life may be related to expanding your horizon, going through a new territory in life. Not just settling in your hometown and just being there without any exposure. No, going and getting new exposure, expanding your horizon. Is my guess correct? Usually this guess is easier when you have the pattern. Yeah. Can you share another important event in your life where you did this and you felt happy? Or another opportunity that you missed and you felt really bad about? An opportunity to expand your world, an opportunity to expand your horizons. You missed it and felt bad. Do you have any such event in your life? Or an opportunity that you utilized and you felt happy? A big event. Do you have any other event in your life that you can think of right now? I got a chance to lecture, right? And you made use of it, right? Yeah, and I see that your WhatsApp status is just lecturing, right? So you associate a lot of it with that profession. And so that was an opportunity that you got, and you see that as an opportunity to expand your horizons. Of course, right? So probably with the limited information that you shared from the limited discussion that we had here, I guess that it's a really important value for you to expand your horizons. So like you said, it is one of your core values. And for Himanshi, it was about being self-reliant, having the freedom to exercise her choices, being independent, right? Now we might feel that, oh, these may be core values for everyone. No, it's not the case. Being independent may not be a core value for somebody else. For a lot of people, it may not be a core value. If you look at people in your own life, some people are just happy with the limited freedom they have. Some people are just comfortable in the limited zone that they have got, unlike Ramesh. So we all are different. So some of the core values that Ramesh has, maybe somebody else may not have it. Maybe I won't have it. Something that Himanshi has, maybe I won't have it. Maybe Pradeep won't have it. Maybe Sushant won't have it. So the stories that you remember the most, the events that has striken you the most, they are relevant. There is a reason why you remember some of those events, and some of those events still give you pain. Some of those events still make you proud. There is a reason behind it. And that reason is that they are your core values, important core values. Behind those events are your core values. Now, anybody else, I can help one more person to figure out their one core value from an event they have written. Yeah. Sushant,
Yeah.
I guess.
Can I? Yeah.
Yeah. Hi,
Okay.
Sushant. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm Dr. Sushant Maisur from Mumbai.
Uh-huh.
Recently, last year, I had an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
work as a coach for the Olympics
Mm-hmm.
as a
Wow.
mental coach, but I did
Wow,
not take the
great.
opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
There are 7 interviews. I cleared all those interviews and they
Mm-hmm.
selected me. But the
Mm-hmm.
hitch was they asked me to shift to Chandigarh with my whole
Mm-hmm.
family and leave the organization which I was running. So
Oh.
I'm running this organization, my Brain Prime, which is into neuroscience and
Mm-hmm.
cognitive intelligence, the past 12
Mm-hmm.
years. So
Mm-hmm.
so at that time, it was really a situation where what decision to be taken,
Mm-hmm.
how should I handle it? So
Mm-hmm.
at that time, I told him that I cannot leave, but even I can give this to somebody to just like a small baby. I'm just not there
Mm-hmm.
for 1 year. Maybe can you look
Mm-hmm.
after my baby, and maybe I
Mm-hmm.
can be a consultant. But
Mm-hmm.
again, their whole thing was you have to be completely focused 24,
Mm-hmm.
25/8. So and
Mm-hmm.
you'll not get time to look at your company. So I have to
Wow.
miss that opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Right. So what
So
do you feel about
there,
that now?
no, now there's a mixed feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I should have taken, or maybe it's leaving the baby, which is not completely grown. Maybe it has grown to,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I still we feel that even if your child is 40 or 50, still
Mm-hmm.
for you it is a child.
Yeah. Right.
So I
So,
look as my company as my child.
mm-hmm.
So
So
it's a mixed feeling.
it's a mixed feeling, right? So you prioritized something there, right? So you don't feel fully bad about it, but there is some kind of a bitterness about it. Uh, so it may be a little difficult to figure out what exactly it is about because it's a mixed feeling. But let's see. So you said that your company, the organization that you were running, was like a baby, right?
Right.
Right.
So now when I hear the news or maybe I hear about Olympics, I
Mhm.
sometimes feel that I would have been a part of that.
Mhm. Right. So from what you shared, so there are like two things there. So right now you have mixed feelings about it, and because we don't have a pattern here, my guess is that one thing was a commitment that you had already made, which is your
Absolutely
organization.
right.
The organization has other members, the other organization has other commitments, and you have already made a commitment to it.
Yeah.
So even if something that
Yeah.
looks like a bigger opportunity, you didn't want to break the commitment that you had already made. This is the first thing. This
Yes.
commitment came first. So
Yes.
probably accomplishing your commitments, the current commitments, the commitments that you have already made, that's what you prioritized back then.
Yes. Right.
It's probably because you know that you will feel guilty if you didn't accomplish that commitment. It's because of that you gave up on such a colorful opportunity, such a vibrant, attractive opportunity that somebody else would jump at. So maybe that is the core value that made you reject that opportunity back then. And for me, when I look at it, that is what is being highlighted for me, even when you say that you have mixed feelings about it. And definitely it's a colorful opportunity, and it's natural for you to feel regret, you to regret the decision that you made. But it still feels like completing the commitment that you made is on the the heavier side of values you have. That's why you made that
Absolutely.
decision. You
Absolutely.
prioritize that value then. Uh, Now, this other thing would have been something like we talked about, Ramesh. This could have been something that expanded your horizon, or something that could have taken you to a new terrain. But you balanced between the two, and you prioritized. This is the weighing balance. This weighed towards the side of completing your commitments, the current commitments,
Right.
keeping the promise.
Because
So.
there were two things. There were two things. Not
Mhm.
only I go, but I can leaving back the family, or they also give option that you can come with the family. But again, I'll not be able to give justice to the family. It will
Mhm.
just be a shift from one place to another without any
Mhm.
commitment, even to my organization,
Mhm.
nor to my
Mhm.
family.
Yeah.
So, as you rightly
Yeah.
mentioned, balancing this came to be a much higher side.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So in that sense, your family is also a commitment, a pre-made commitment, right? So family, the commitment to the family, the commitment to the organization, which came first, the commitment that you had already made, you prioritize that over the new opportunity to expand your horizon. So if that is where the balance is weighing more towards, that may be a more consistent value for you. That's my guess at this point with the information you provided as of now. But you can add more points to the timeline, and see the pattern. Thank you, Sushant, for sharing that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now we have explored the core values, one core value each of some of our participants, some of our members, Himanshi, Ramesh, Sushant, and who else? 3 members? Right, I guess 3 members. Right. Yeah. So what happens is that this is like the compass, right? The compass that gives the direction. So it's based on this compass that we find the road. This gives us the route map for our life. Whether to take at a fork in the road, we decide whether to go this way or that way. Like Dr. Sushant had to make a decision whether to go this way or that way. And he made it based on one of his core values. The thing is, when our core values are clear, sometimes we intuitively do it. By intuition, we know that this is the right decision, this is the right direction. But sometimes it's not that straightforward. Things can be really ambiguous. There can be a cloud over our thoughts. When we are clear about our core values, from this 5 events and 5 events on the top and 5 events on the bottom, if we figure out like 4 or 5 core values, which are there in more than one situations, say 3 core values, our decisions are much more easier. Now, if you know that to prioritize my commitments that I have made in the past, that is one of my top core values. You don't have to worry about an opportunity that looks much brighter. Because by living a life consistent with this value, you can achieve great things. If you live your life consistent to your core values, 3 or 4 or 5 core values, your decisions are much easier. Your decisions are much consistent. And you have a better chance of luck favoring you on your route because you are making consistent decisions. You are not making this decision and this decision. You're not, jumping from one tree to another, so that luck doesn't have a way to get to you, because you are also jumping from tree to tree, while the luck is also jumping from tree to tree. So you may not meet, at the same point. So when you're clear about your core values, life is much more easier. Decisions are much more easier. It's easy for you to communicate things to others. It's easy for you to say yes and no to other things, other people. Now, like Dr. Sushant said, if somebody of my age or somebody young faces a situation like this, and if that person knows, keeping my commitments, already made commitments, keeping my word, keeping my promise, that is a core value for me. No matter how big an opportunity comes my way on the other side, that person won't be moved by that. That person will just be consistent with that, right? And so you can make your decision without any bitterness, and you can just go ahead, and you'll feel that your life is consistent. And that's what most people want. People want a life that is consistent with what they believe. When our life is inconsistent with what you believe, that's when we have pain. So sometimes we rationalize when we don't have clarity on our values. Sometimes we rationalize after making a mistake, after doing something wrong, after going against our core value. When we are not clear about it, we rationalize. Maybe I did the right thing. Maybe that was consistent with my value, my principles. When we are not clear about it. Now, when it's clear, it's easy for us to say yes. It's easy for us to say no. It's easy to invite people to our life based on the core values. It's easy to filter out people from our life based on core values. It's easy to apply to a company for a job based on our core values because your values are aligned. It's easy to reject a company where you got selected when you know that their core values are different, right? If integrity, telling truth, communicating to others only the things that you believe in, if that is one of your core values, and if you have to lie at work every day, maybe as a salesperson, maybe as an accountant, maybe as whatever role it is, you have to lie every day. You have to tell something that you don't believe in every day. Then it's really inconsistent. You will have pain every day. And when you look back after many years to your life, no matter how much money you have made, no matter how much worldly achievements you have made, you won't feel accomplished because you didn't live a life in alignment with your core values. So that is the importance of figuring out your core values, knowing your core values, aligning with it, having people aligned to only those people who are aligned to your core values in your life, being in circles where you have your core values aligned. This is the importance of that. So what happens is that when you figure out your core values, there is a good chance that a lot of people who are there in your life, you may socialize less with some of these people. If you have a lot of people in your life, you will probably have less people in your life. And you will probably have new people in your life. You will probably filter out some old people in your life. All these things can happen if you figure out your core values and if you're really serious about it. So the point is to live a consistent life that when you look back at will give you a sense of fulfillment, irrespective of the worldly success. That is also important. Money, house, car or lifestyle, all those things are important. But keeping all those things aside, whether you achieve it or not, a life aligned with your core values, a life consistent with your core values are something that gives you fulfillment. So with that, I would like to conclude today's presentation part. And then now the floor is open for discussion. It's 9:20. So we have around 10 minutes. If you would like to share anything, something related to an experience, something related to your core values, some experience related to it. Any thoughts based on our discussion today in the session? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Shamla.
Yeah, Shamla, go ahead.
I don't know, is it my core value? But when I think the idea of my living, the choices I make, after at a turning age, maybe in my early 20s, I made a decision in my life when in our childhood, everyone means in school, from home, everyone says be kind, be reasonable, and be good kid, be a good kid, be kind to everyone. And be modest, because I'm in a Muslim family. Make the values like that things. But I find it why I be kind to those people who are not kind to me. It's what's very confusing to me. So at some time of life, I made a decision that I will be kind to those people who kind to me or who truly deserve it. And it gave me some kind of peace that I'm not throwing kindness to others without any reason. Why I would be very kind one person who's not deserving it. So I don't know it's right or wrong. I don't know now. I don't know. I didn't think much about it. But when I practiced this, I got a kind of peace in living.
Right.
And yeah, I'm not saying this is the right way of living, but I find it peaceful.
Yeah, right. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Shamla. Yeah. Would you like to add something?
Yeah, but when I contribute this kind of character, some people in my circle said that you're being selfish. But what happened that it doesn't make me unhappy. That they call me selfish. I said, no problem. That's their perception about me. No problem, because that's it's me, my life. the way of thinking. It's if this giving me peace, it's okay. And but also I try to be not too judgmental. I try to be. There is a line. There is an invisible line. If I be too judgmental, it's not good.
Yeah.
So I mean, kind of a line.
Right. Yeah. So from what you shared,
yeah.
Thank you, Shamla, for sharing that. And one thing about this exercise is that, so we don't directly look at an important value in our life. Instead, what we do is we look at an event in the life. So when we actually think about a value in our life, what happens is that our logical brain kicks in, and it comes up with a lot of theories, and that's why it's really useful. It's really useful to shut down that logical part of the brain and just go through the stories of your life. Like you shared a story of your life, and to try to look at the patterns. So the emotional part of the brain, the creative part of the brain, does some magic, and it comes up with the stories that stand out. And then we look at the stories and figure out the values, and we find a pattern. So that is how the exercise helps us figure out the consistent values. Now, from what you shared, what highlights, what stands out for me is where you said this makes you peaceful. So probably being at peace is a core value for you. Being relaxed, being at peace, being not worried, concerned about a lot of things, having those things to be concerned about. So being at peace is probably a core value.
Yes, I think because I am kind of peaceful person. Means I usually avoid getting angry and being in showers. I think so. When you say it's your core value is peace, I can totally relate it.
Thank you, Shami. Right. So we almost come to the end of the session. It's exactly almost 1 hour, just 2-3 minutes left. So before we wind up, you can share any thoughts on the session. What did you find useful? How did you find useful? Any suggestions you could share?
Hi.
What?
Hello.
Yeah, Salih.
I am Salih. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yes. From this session, I understood that why I am like this because of my core values. I have such a friend circle because of my core values. I think that I cannot be friends with anybody else. Okay. Now I understand from that your this session. So I have I'm giving importance to growth. Where there is an opportunity for growth, I make utilize that one.
Yeah.
So I have my friends circle is such people are. They want to grow.
Yeah.
And from this session, thank you very much for your session.
Thank you, Salih. Yeah, thank you, Salih. It's probably because of that alignment that you are here in this circle. It's because all our sessions are about growth. Yeah. So probably that's what attracted you here as well. Thank you. Anybody else? Anything else?
I just want to say, Vineeth, I just saw your message randomly, and I just decided to log in. And I'm glad that I came in to do this workshop. This is not really a webinar. I think it's a workshop because you actually got us to do this. I really enjoyed it. As a fellow trainer, I would suggest that if in case you are doing any program on emotional intelligence, I'd be happy to do a program with you similar to this, because I believe core values is obviously very directly connected to emotional intelligence. And what Shamla was discussing right now, it has a lot to do with emotional intelligence. So I've sent you a message as well, but I'm glad that I attended your program.
So, Himanshi, thank you. I'll get in touch with you. Thank you. Sure. Thanks for attending and being active. Thank you. Right. So I think we'll just wind it up here. Hope to see you all again next Saturday. And then please stay active in the group as well. We can continue the discussions. Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining. Ramesh, whatever you told was right. I wish to do a new thing every now and then, new horizons. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Anuradha. Thank you, Saleh. See you all next week. Thank you. Bye.